This morning when I woke up in the wee hours to catch my flight, all over X was this other new video. And this other new video shows a man in an alley reportedly on February 1st. Nancy was taken overnight from January 31st into February 1st, which was Sunday. Shows a man in a back alley. We're showing it now. And he is wearing a backpack. He's got another backpack in his hands. He's got a gray jacket on. The pants are sort of like blue pants, not jeans, but pants. He is trying to, I can't even tell. I mean, I'm going to ask you guys what you think, but I see him maybe trying to open a gate or do something with the backpack, maybe push it over the gate. I can't tell, but it doesn't seem to work because he then takes that second backpack back down and walks back to where he came from. And now TMZ is reporting that the FBI has got this video. Of course, people are crediting TMZ with breaking this video, which is not correct. It was all over X this morning. And I think it was, hold on a second, because I have it. I'll find it. It was an ex like true crime solver who's been all over this case. It was not TMZ. In any event, I want to give him credit, and I'll get that out of my packet in just 1 second. And so now there's a real question, guys, about whether that's our guy. To me, I'll just kick it off. He looks skinnier than I would have expected. And I can't quite tell whether he has facial hair. He might. He doesn't have it all over his face, that's for sure. But he might have it like in the front where we saw it in that mask. And I can't tell whether those backpacks are identical or not. But clearly he loves backpacks. And I don't know, he seems to be up to no good here in the middle of the night. Not far. This is about 5 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's house. And it's on the night in question. So, you know, that's pretty telling. Yeah, here's the guy. His name is Nerdy Addict, who is a very good X-follow. And he is the one who posted this. Saying it was originally posted on the Ring Neighbors app, which is full of information in the early morning hours of February 1st, 5 miles south of Nancy's home. And he did report that it had been submitted to the FBI. Then Harvey Levin adds the FBI is taking it seriously. So your thoughts on that? Maureen, I'll start with you.
First and foremost, we can expect the FBI's ERT team to be showing up at that location to conduct a comprehensive search. I think we can all agree on that. Secondly, if he had, I agree, those jeans are looser than in the videos we have of the actual offender on Nancy's front porch. Let's call him the gunslinger. So the gunslinger had on tighter jeans, and he could have had those skinny jeans on over these pants. He now has two backpacks, whereas at Nancy's he only had one. Maybe the other one was in his vehicle, his getaway car or whatever. But actually, when I'm looking at these pants now, they don't look that dissimilar. For some reason, I thought they were a little bit more fitted.
Well, it could be the color too.
Yeah, well, the color, they're going to be able to do a color enhancement, the Bureau will, based on known colors at that location and how they're showing up on that Nest camera that Nancy had. They're going to be able to do a little bit of something, not sure what. I think this guy looks to have what I would say is a gun in his right pocket. If you watch the way that pocket moves.
Oh.
To the guy with the approaching. And there's one photo. I actually did a still shot. And
we're talking about double backpack man.
Double backpack man. Yep. Let's call him Pac-Man. And no, I'm only kidding. Whatever you want. But if you look at Pac-Man in this photo, when he's putting something in the trash. Wait, I'm going the wrong way. What am I doing?
Go the other way.
Right there. You had it.
Right there.
Right there. Mm-hmm. If you watch this when it's moving, you'll see the movement. You'll see the weight of the gun apparently at the bottom of that pocket, and it's as if the gun is laying in full in that pocket. See how you can see?
Yeah, you can see there's definitely something weighty in his right pocket.
Right. He's also got something in his right pocket, like a phone, and it looks like. I can't see that much, but when
can I just say something quickly? Look at his, forgive me, look at his rear end. He looks kind of skinny. Look at his legs.
Blanco. Yes.
He looks kind of skinny. And can we see our actual abductor video now? Because he did not look skinny to me. Now you raised the point of maybe the guy, by the time he gets to Nancy's or this guy, look at this. Don't you think
Yeah.
this guy's rear end and legs are thicker
Yes.
than Pac-Man?
What do you think, Fitz?
Well, the FBI has had this for at least, 24 hours or more. I'm not sure exactly when it became available to them. They have all kinds of technical enhancement capabilities that, of course, we don't have here. Megyn, you may have some on your staff, but they're going to have as much as they can to blow that thing up and look at it in every single step of the way. Also, I'd want to make sure it's confirmed the time and the location. We can't do anything about that, but we'll assume for now the location and the time is consistent with the Guthrie neighborhood and, of course, the night of the abduction. So, yeah, there's a lot here. I mean, we talked before in the last week or so. None of us really believe in coincidences, certainly in terms of criminal activity, violent criminal activity. But this would be a coincidence on steroids if, in
Right.
fact, somehow it's not related. So this guy absolutely, positively has to be ruled out, identified. If he's just some local yokel, dumpster diving, looking for valuables or food or something, he should come forward to save everybody a lot of aggravation. But if he is, in fact, the abductor, or let's not rule out, a partner of the abductor, switching backpacks, and one carries a gun one time, one carries a gun the other. And I'm not locking into two people for this part of it, but nonetheless, they have to identify this guy. And if he's doing nothing wrong except prowling around some neighborhoods when he shouldn't, the police would probably know of this guy, the sheriff's department. If he's just a random guy that does this every once in a while, maybe homeless, lives under a cactus somewhere off the grid, they're going to know about this guy and they're going to
Yeah.
identify him. And they're going to have now facial recognition, which this guy is going to be a lot better possibility because you have his whole face. He's like bald,
Yes.
some facial growth on his face. They're going to do some work with that. And I'm assuming this guy will be identified. Let's hope he's tied into to solve this case. Let's hope he's tied into the person at Nancy's house, and we could really then start moving forward.
I mean, when you
solving
say
this thing.
it sounds so exactly right. Think about, I mean, Maureen, what are the odds that there were two men wearing very similar clothing with a backpack packed to the brink within 5 miles of Nancy Guthrie's house on the night she was abducted, both of whom appear to have been carrying and appear to have been right-handed? And this guy's, we think he's got the little facial hair. He's got the big round head. He also appears in one of the shots I looked to have stick out ears. His head is perfectly round. There's not a lot of hair. We talked about that, how you could see in the abductor's video, his head looks perfectly round. So he either didn't have like a bunch of hair that was mussing it up or maybe was bald. Yeah, here you can kind of see it. You can kind of see that his ear was more prominent on the right side. So what are the odds of there being two of them on the night in question within 5 miles of each other and within hours of one another?
Astronomical. And then you have to ask yourself, why 5 miles away? Is that where he lives? Is that where they're keeping Nancy? Because in that kidnapping case where I told you we recovered the child alive, he had been staying at a home several miles away from the location he was taken from, and he was being cared for by a family that was being paid to care for him while all the negotiations were going on with the ransom.
Mm-hmm. So it's possible. I mean,
So she
when
could
you
be
guys
near
watch that video,
location.
do you have any idea what he's doing? Like, that's one of my questions was, what the hell is he doing with that backpack? He's very focused on the one backpack and like trying to shove it over this fence or put it I don't know what he's doing. You tell me what you could glean from watching this.
Yeah, I've chased down burglars back in the day, and bank burglars, residential burglars, others, and some of them, like a good kidnapper, like a good abductor, they're going to have a protocol set up and an MO, a modus operandi that gets them in the door and out the door. They may have materials with them. In the old days, you find a guy carrying a bunch of several pillowcases with him. Well, guess what? He's not looking to buy a pillow and take a nap. He has that to put material inside there. They may get the pillowcase from the house, quite frankly, but they also could bring a trash bag or something. So yeah, both these guys seem to have. I kidded the other day on the air, like almost like they're carrying parachutes. Of course, it's not that, but they look like they're stuffed to the brim. Some kind of canvas material, tarp, of course, tools we talked about the other day. It looks like this is their kit. Is it a burglar kit, abduction kit, rape, murder, kidnap? We don't know, but it's a kit for criminal activity against a human being. So what's in that kit is going to be very valuable. Change of clothes, change of hoods that we don't see on this guy on this newer video, and it's his kit to get him successfully to commit that crime. And we get that kit and find out. And this last guy we're just seeing, he has 2 different bags, it seems. And then the video from the offender at one point, and Megyn, you pointed this out, there's no bag in one of the pictures. So are these things like interchangeable? They put them down. One has one purpose, one has another. When they're first casing the place, they don't have a bag at all to look suspicious in case someone sees them.
Fitz, that discussion that we had yesterday about this picture has been haunting me. So for the listening audience, we're showing the picture of the abductor right underneath the archway at Nancy's house where he's not wearing the backpack. We don't see the gun, and the whole face mask looks like he has it on backwards. You can't see eyes, you can't see a mouth. Could just be the camera not able to focus on him quite yet because he's not close enough, but you can't see any of that. And
Freaky.
all I've been thinking about over the past night is that what if that was, and it seems like it would have to have been after the crime, because I feel like we see him arrive to commit the crime. When he steps onto her property, he's got his flashlight in, he's steps up on that little step, he seems to know it's coming, he sees the Nest Cam, he's like, okay, I got to deal with that. He does the vegetation. If the shot of him without the backpack was recon, his recon wasn't very good. This is, we're showing him now arriving with the head down and his little mouth flashlight going. But my thought was simply, if that's him post-crime, without the backpack and without the gun, and now we know Nancy's not in the house any longer, it's not good. I mean, he should still need his gun. He should still be afraid that Nancy's going to get out of that car and run, that he's got a live person in his car. Like, there's no time. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on whether that makes it more or less likely? Like, should I have the opposite analysis? No, that's got to be him scouting it out in advance, because post-crime, we know this person, whoever it was, had Nancy.
Well, he's going to need the flashlight when he goes into the house. The house is pitch dark. You're not going to turn the lights on within the house, because anyone driving by, even though you can't see much, you would be able to see if the lights were on inside Nancy's house at 2:00 in the morning, and that would be concerning, especially if you're a friend that knows that her bedroom is all the way in the back or wherever it is. So he's got to have the flashlight when he's trying to go in. He also has to have the flashlight when he's going up to try to check the doorknob, because you'll notice that video stops right before he would try to gain entry there. I mean, what if this dude had a key and went in the front door? We don't know, because the video was stopped then. Do we not have the video? That's probably the video that law enforcement is holding back from this point.
They totally have it, Maureen, because we saw him deal with the camera. I feel like we know what he did with the camera. Here, he settled on, I'm going to cover it with flowers, right? He didn't appear to keep trying to get it off. It appears, I don't know what happened next, but I think you're right. I think law enforcement has probably got video of him either entering this front door or abandoning it and going out that path and then winding up around the back.
Because the plan was to drag her out the front door. That was the plan. He couldn't get in the front door, or maybe he did with a key or something, but you're not going to get past that burglar door and that really thick wooden Spanish style front door that they have. I can't even look at a door like that without my hips hurting to this day, and Fitz will tell you the same thing. But the one in the back would be easy to break in. It's a thinner door. It's got 9 small square panes of glass. You can either punch a hole in, which someone did not do that, or you just boot the door down or boot it in. And that's, if I don't know why they're not answering the question, was this forced entry or was it not forced entry? But if it was forced entry, it had to be from the back, because that
Ashley Banfield is reporting that it was. That, I mean, so far, all of what she reported in her big scoop on the Tuesday after Nancy went missing has proven out. She said they were Nest cameras. Everybody else had just been assuming Ring. Guess what? They turned out to be Nest cameras. She said that there was a camera in the front and the back. That we don't know for sure, but I felt like the sheriff said they. He referred to plural. We don't have them. So that seems to suggest he also hasn't denied most of her reporting. Like he hasn't said the forced entry. He said, I don't know where you got that from. We didn't say that. We didn't say that. That's not a denial. So there could have been a forced entry. Ashley did report it was a forced entry from the back door and that the back door was left open. And that's how the family found it when they showed up. So TMZ is also reporting now something interesting about that timeline. So it was 1:47 a.m. that the doorbell camera went offline, according to them. But it was 2:12 a.m. that either some remnant of a camera or some different camera reported an image of a person had appeared. And the cop was sure to say, the sheriff said, it could have been actually an image of an animal, but it detected something. It detected an image at 2:12. And we spent days confused about how is it detecting images of people or anything after it was already disabled or disconnected at 1:47 a.m. And they ultimately explained there was another camera. Now, TMZ is reporting that it was at 2:12 a.m. that we are seeing the intruder video. That video is from 2:12 a.m. Now, we haven't independently confirmed that. But then I'm more confused than ever. Like, well, then what happened at 1:47? The doorbell camera went offline, and yet at 2:12 we see this. So was it the back doorbell camera that went offline at 1:47, and there he is at 2:12? Why wouldn't he just be in the back? None of it makes sense, and I guess it's not going to until law enforcement explains it to us.
Co-conspirator driver. No, because he had the backpack on. The guy in the intruder video had the backpack on.
Mm-hmm.
But they could have been using something like a Nextel, a walkie-talkie. Fits the guy, the getaway driver, and the kidnapper.
Yeah, and I don't want to give these one or more people too much more credit than they deserve, but obviously the abduction part has been successful up to this point in time. Although obviously some mistakes now and unsureness and a lack of professionalism in terms of their overall activity. But Megyn, yeah, this could be pre-offense. We see the person walking up, doing a quick reconnoiter without all the equipment on, except the mask, to be sure, and maybe even backwards. You could probably still see through it, depending on what kind of ambient light is there. I know there's not much. And they're just looking around real quick. Or also, it could have been after Nancy is safely in the car. She's restrained well enough, perhaps being watched by someone else. And this person, I've seen burglars, I've interviewed burglars after the fact, that they would come back to the scene if they've had even 10 minutes or 20 minutes in a residence or a business, and they'd look around one more time, left no tools, left no gloves. This is even before DNA analysis when I was doing some of these, but they wanted to make sure they left nothing behind at the scene. So here he could be coming up one more time, backpacks in the car, gun, everything else, looks around. All right, it's good. Let's get out of here. That could explain. They really explains the beforehand, him walking up, and afterwards without the backpack.
International disputes, inflation, rising national debt, digital currency. There's a never-ending list of reasons gold has risen over 700% in the last 20 years. And a never-ending list of reasons smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals with Birch Gold Group. Gold can thrive during uncertainty, which is why it's a crucial part of a balanced strategy. It gives you peace of mind, given all the events that could impact the U.S. economy. See if holding gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account is right for you. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Just text MK to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, consider letting Birch Gold help you diversify with gold, so you too can have peace of mind regardless of the uncertainty. Text MK to 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.